Hey everyone, what's up? This is Hayes Reed of Gemini Moon Astrology. I'm your astrologer, psychic intuitive, tarot reader, astrologer. How y'all doing? I am excited to come to you guys with a message about Mars and Gemini. Mars is gonna make its way out of Taurus and move into Gemini this weekend. And this is going to be a very interesting transit because we have this fiery planet, this warrior angel coming through Gemini to spark up the need or spark up awareness. It's going to help us to increase awareness and to help us to gain more insight into a situation or an affair or a responsibility. It's going to help us intellectually, be driven. We're going to be driven intellectually and factually about things. And so the interesting thing about this is that Gemini's ruler, Mercury, is still in Pisces right now. It's getting ready to go back direct out of its retrograde, where it just conjuncted for about 3 to 4 days at 16 degrees of Pisces with Neptune, which is Pisces' ruler. So we had this tight conjunction, which really impacted our minds and our neurological systems and helped us to filter through an experience, and helped us to filter through a mental palette. For me, what it felt like these past few days was a mental wash. Like, it felt like yesterday when I meditated, it was like washing machine, like because what's happening is psychic clearing. And so in order for us to really step into our psychic awareness, and become more accustomed and sensitive to this higher state of awareness that we're moving into, we have to clear our thinking. We have to clear our thinking so that certain palettes of expression can be washed clean as well and made manifest. That makes sense. So Mars and Gemini is driving us to understand something. Like, I feel like with this transit, we're going to be very, very driven to want to understand things now and understand how things work in real time and in reality, but also how we can integrate, because what we're working on right now is merging systems, and we're integrating things. We're integrating things from our subconscious into our physical conscious reality. That's ultimately what all this is. And so this is taking us back to memories, and with Venus doing its transit through Pisces, that's going to take us to old lovers, old friends, past heartbreaks, past disappointments, past relationships, and it's going to help us to come out more evolved and help us to really see the beauty and meaning in our relationships and in our values, and help us to kind of refine our values as well. So Mars and Gemini is gonna help us to play devil's advocate a little bit and play the trickster and help us to kind of switch roles. And a lot of twin flame energy too. A lot of twin flame energy, twin flames, partnerships. I'm feeling partnerships, define partners distinctly, which is something I did not say in the Venus through Pisces transit video that I just posted. Was that see all these planets in mutable signs. Okay, we have Jupiter in his home sign of Sagittarius. We're gonna have Mars in Gemini in a few days. And we still have Mercury that's getting ready to go back direct in Pisces, and Venus going through Pisces. So all this changeability, all this adaptability, there's adaptability and more fluidity right now, and a broader perspective that we're building, especially with Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is my home sign, which is my sun sign. And we're gaining broader perspective and becoming more well-rounded, so that we may encompass and experience and encompass this story, if that makes sense, to encompass something, to gain a new perspective on something. We're really looking to gain perspective, gain a higher perspective and integrate higher perspective into reality. So we're making our way, and we're learning. We're doing a lot of learning, a lot of changing, and adapting and growing. So, the plan is still the plan. This plan is still at hand. So I'm just gonna pull maybe 1 to 3 cards to kind of get some insight and foresight. So what I didn't say was that Mercury is, well, I did say that Mercury is still in Pisces, but the square that Mars is making to that energy in Pisces with its ruling planet in Pisces still, it's gonna have us really driven for information and driven for, driven to really see higher meaning in things, and to see what's hidden, and to see, what's secret, and to see the possibility of what we can become. We're still very much in a becoming stage. Sun is in Aries, and we've bursted through. We've broken through the mold. We've broken through the competition, but we're still working to claim our spot. So, and we're gearing for war. We're gearing for war. We're gearing for competition. Oh, interesting. I have the deck turned backwards. That's not how I would do it. So, 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles for this Mars through Gemini transit. So, there's a focus on obtaining material abundance and wanting to use what we know to help us to gain or justify some sort of material abundance. Nine of Wands. So 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Wands. Holding strong to a dream. This transit This transit is going to make us feel like we're going to have to fight. Because Gemini can be very... Gemini is nosy. Gemini can get catty. Gemini knows how to be very petty. 2 of Pentacles. So it's going to feel like we're going to have to fight for everything we've worked for everything that we feel like we deserve. There's going to be people, I feel like, there's definitely going to be an emphasis on relationships. There's going to be some confrontation within relationships. Secrets are going to be involved. Hidden things, hidden messages, subliminal things. We're going to be working to understand code. Gemini is very much the code. Trying to understand the code, right? Trying to understand the code. So we're going to be trying to understand the code. But 2 of Pentacles came out. I said I'll pull 3 cards, but it's getting interesting. 2 of Pentacles came out, showing that we're trying to balance and make something come together in harmony. We're trying to harmonize things, trying to balance things. A relationship, um, working to transition something. Yeah, we're working to transition some things. And it feels like we want to do things secretively. You know, we're going to feel like we're going to want to do things a certain way or do things secretly or kind of balance things a certain way and kind of make things work. Like this is a time where we're going to want to make things work for us because, you know, Aries, Sun is in Aries right now and Chiron is in Aries. So different realizations about the self and our values, you know, are really coming into play. And then we have the star card, Aquarius, an opportunity, a blossoming, and then we have 5 of Pentacles. So I guess I'll stop there. Okay. So the way I'm hearing this in my head is that some of us get the opportunity to make good on a promise. A promise to yourself. I'm feeling promise energy right now. Promise, the promised land, promise. There's a promise. There's a promise. There's a standard. You know, there's a standard. Let me get some more cards pulled out. So Mars and Gemini. Mars and Gemini. So that Aquarius energy is that air. So there's a it's almost like somebody like is working to gain approval, you know, or working to gain the good graces of the stars. I got it. So there's going to be a lot of communication with astral beings, star systems. There's going to be a lot of communication with the planets like Gemini. So what's happening right now with Mercury and Pisces is we're really fine-tuning our self-talk and our self-speech. That's what's happening. We're really fine-tuning our self-talk and our self-speech. And we're finding better and better grounds with ourselves of self-worth and learn to become into higher awareness of our powers and abilities to manifest in our realities. So what's happened is we're switching up and we're playing devil's advocate and we are learning to be a little bit more secretive. There are some people in some relationships that are not good for you to be around, that have not been good for us to hang around, and you know they really don't want the best interest for we. Like they may have a certain standard, but they don't have our best interests at heart. And so, well, it came out reversed, and it was upright. The deck was upright, so 3 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, this is telling me that there's just some things that are not growing. Like there are some things that are not growing, and there are some opportunities that you're missing because you choose to stay in things or friendships or alliances or in pacts that don't serve you. So how I'm feeling into a lot of this energy, and you know, coupled with the tarot, is that we're learning the tricks of the trade. And Pisces came out. The Hangman. So the art of deception, okay? The art of deception. I want you to get that in your mind. for a second. The art of deception. You know, where are you coming from? You know, where are you coming from? Where are you coming from when you speak? And I'm talking to myself right now. Where are you coming from? So the Hangman. So how I feel like this energy is going down is having to deal with secrets and having to sit in the cut until the curtains finally rise up and reveal. And I'm hearing Rihanna's song, curtains finally closing, but else is home. So certain relationships that are not serving you, certain opportunities that are not like that you're missing or that you haven't fully bloomed into. Like there's opportunities that you're blooming into, because we have the star card. The star card is has to do with an awakening and has to do definitely with opportunities with friends and relationships and clubs and sororities, things like that. Making your way up in society, being in the right place at the right time, hanging with the stars, you know. And one last card, Six of Wands. I'm hearing Dinah Ross's song, I'm coming out. I'm coming. I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. And with the Six of Wands is telling me is that, you know, you're coming out on the upside. You're coming out on the safe side. You know, there's a vibe that you're holding that is helping you. And that's funny because we got the Two of Pentacles with the butterfly as well. See, I catch little stuff like that. Okay. Uranus is in Taurus right now. So what's happening, y'all, is we're waking up to the truth of our value. And there are secrets that we cannot tell anybody. And for many of you who are light workers and empaths and, you know, very, very sensitive psychic beings, this is the time where the psychics are kind of really, we're learning how to master our potential, but we have to do it in secret. There's a secret order like forming itself underneath all the rubble. And how I feel these two cards, because I really want to talk about these two, is it feels to me like almost becoming a secret agent within your own society, or like becoming a secret agent to like a clan or a star troop. You know, we're coming into the knowledge of our true worth. So metaphysically, this has a lot to do with metaphysics. Pisces has a lot to do with metaphysics and language. So meditation, definitely meditation. Like Mars and Gemini, we're going to want to be frantic and go and try to figure out things and discover. And yes, we definitely can do that. But be careful to have tact, you know. So I think a lot of this is about having tact. And this may be for people, you know, who identify as light workers, as people who identify as psychic beings. This is a psychic time. So be careful. what you're thinking, what you're allowing, what you're letting in. Be discriminative. This is a very, very good time to be discriminatory. And when I say that, I mean, you know, being careful of who, how much, and where you're giving your time and energy. So, thank y'all. This is Hayes Reed. Thank y'all for taking the time to watch this. Like, share, subscribe, please. I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm sharing these messages and I'm growing. So, let's grow together. Let's continue to create this conscious community. And yes, catch y'all on the flip side.